Welcome to Okaloosa Today, local news and information. Connecting the communities of Footwall Beach, Destin, and Okaloosa County.
Welcome to Okaloosa Today, a one-hour show about the Okaloosa County, the City of Destin, and the City of Fort Walton Beach. I'm Kathy Newby, Public Information Officer for Okaloosa County, and today with me is our guest, Ed Schroeder, the new Tourism Director for Okaloosa County. Welcome, Ed.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you.
Well, we're so fortunate to have Ed, who brings local experience to our area for tourism, as well as having spent 12 years in Pensacola Beach. So a lot of tourism experience you bring.
That's right. Tourism from Pensacola all the way to Panama City. We're competing against each other, but we, as a destination, we draw from all over the country, all over the world.
Well, and it's nice to know your competition, and you know, we really don't draw lines in the sand. We are a region, and I feel like every area along Santa Rosa Island and our beautiful beaches is distinct, and we're just, I know I speak for everyone, we're so excited to have you here, Ed, and have a new confidence in our tourism industry with your arrival. So great fit for you. We've mentioned that. What have you been doing in your first couple of months on the job?
Oh wow, it's been very fast. To look back and think that it's been 2 months already, kind of take my breath away. We've been very busy. First, getting to know the industry, the county, the staff that works in the Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Convention Center staff. Priority was getting to know all of those people and to understand their issues, their opportunities, their problems, their priorities, and try to help them shape where we go from this point forward.
Yeah, and getting to know your staff. There's about 25 people.
Yeah, about that many, and it's they are all very busy. Not one of them wears a hat for just one job.
Right.
Everybody we have wears 2 to 3 or more hats. They have a lot to do every day.
And they'll do great with your leadership because it's a great team out there. So
thank you. It is.
So have you had a chance to play tourist yet? What about
Yeah, I have. I have.
You have any thoughts, impressions?
Well, I had to get in the water, so I've even been out into the Gulf. I had to do that. I think the sand is a little bit whiter here than it is our neighbors to the west. It is the most beautiful, softest, clean sand I have ever seen anywhere, and that is certainly enjoyed by the tourists that come here. The other activities, certainly I've enjoyed some of the best food in Florida. We have some chefs that take a second seat to nobody. The attractions, I've been over to the Gulfarium, I've been to some of the others as well. This is the destination in the country.
It really is. It's a wonderful place to live and to visit. Well, Ed, what do you think makes our area unique?
Kathy, that's a great question. Certainly we all share these God-given gorgeous beaches that attracts people from all over the country and the world. But we definitely have an iconic symbol, an iconic attraction that does separate us from the competition, and that's the Destin Harbor. The attractions, the events, the restaurants, the shops, that is unique to Northwest Florida. No other destination has anything close to that. And what makes it especially good for us on the marketing side is that we can take those beautiful images that just abound with beauty.
I know, coming over that bridge.
That's right, and put that into all of our marketing throughout the country.
And you know, I love the new logo that the ad agency has created. Just a little tweaking, actually, of the original Emerald Coast logo, and saying that we are the heart of the Emerald Coast. So I think that is definitely warm and inviting, and I love that, I have to say.
Oh, you're absolutely right. And it was, although we created the Emerald Coast, it is such a defining term that it is branding the whole area from Panama City over to Pensacola. And so now our mission becomes, well, how do we differentiate ourselves from the other folks that are using it? And we are the center point, we're the origin, we're the heart.
That's right.
And then if you use that in your logo or in your brand, being the heart of something allows you to expand that message into so many different things. That it's a tremendous handle for us.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun using that as well. You're right. The partner portal, you want to talk about that? You're doing some new things with your tourism partners.
Yeah, we need to be able to communicate with our partners even when we're not on the phone or on email with them. In other words, things they need to know, they shouldn't have to track down one of our staff to get that information. We should have everything we do available to them so that when it's convenient for them to get the information, they go get it. Also, when they need to update their information that they have on our websites, they shouldn't have to track us down to be able to get access to do that. So what we've done is created this partner portal that allows them to access all of the information we post up for our partners, and it also allows them to access their section of our website so that they can update it with phone numbers or new people or new attractions. They can keep it current to the hour.
That's great. And you know, another thing we did this year prior to even your arrival is we expanded the department's website on the county website so that if you are local or if you are a partner, you can get on there and find out what's going on in the inner workings in the tourism department, which I think is good, or who's on the tourism board, or if you want to apply for the tourism board, things like that.
That's terrific, because a lot of people will go to the county website first before they look at what is on the destination, because on a county site they know that's a official, trustworthy site, and a lot of people will go there first for information and link off there to specific areas of interest like tourism.
Right. So y'all are working on some reunions?
Oh, yeah.
Military, specifically, well, y'all have always worked on travel groups. I know that Sherry Rushing over there, that's one of her major focuses. But y'all are expanding that and really focusing in on some military reunions because this is such a military-friendly area.
We just finished a military FAM. FAM is a inside baseball term for familiarization tour.
Right.
There is an organization called the Reunion Network, and it's military oriented, and it's basically meeting planners for various military organizations for reunions around the country. Well, there's about 50 of those planners that we just hosted this last week for their annual meeting.
That's a big number.
It's a big number, and when you look at the numbers that they represent, it really gets big.
That sounds great. And you know, we already sort of gear toward our military. We have a lot of activities for those families here, so it should be a good fit for our visitors, military visitors as well.
It really is.
Okay. Well, 2013 was 500 years since Ponce de Leon landed in La Florida. And what is next for Visit Florida, our umbrella organization for tourism?
Well, long range, they're not going to let go of the 500 and the Viva Florida. That was a very successful campaign. Florida wants to keep it. I don't blame them. I do the same thing.
Right.
That needs to keep going as long as it has legs. But immediately, they are going to help Northwest Florida leverage their presence overseas, because there has been a dramatic uptick in attention to the United States from overseas. And when they come from Europe or they come from Africa or any other overseas destination, the number one place they go is Florida. So Visit Florida is helping us get our market share in that group. And it starts next week with a meeting in Destin among all the airport officials and tourism officials and some large property management firms and Visit Florida to talk about how we're going to leverage their position with Europe and China, and how we would participate with that and what funds would be needed and when we would start it and how we would do it.
Well, we have our own airport right here in the
That's right.
county, and so I'm glad you mentioned the airport and can tell our residents how much y'all really work behind the scenes with the airports and other local industry to promote tourism and help the local businesses as well.
What tourism at its heart is, and what the airport at its heart is economic development.
Right.
And in as much as people fly in for a vacation or they fly in for business, once they see the Emerald Coast, the whole purpose changes from a vacation to how in the world can I get my business down here? How can I move my family here? How can I move what I'm doing up where it's cold 4 months of the year to down here where it's always perfect?
Absolutely. That's how we ended up here, many of us. So, okay, so we talked about some of the staff issues and the research, some of the challenges. Oh, there is one more thing. What about, I was told that you're going to bring the Peter Mayer Advertising Agency and sort of connect them with some local creative companies that we have locally to try and not only utilize our local businesses,
right,
but work in, create some synergy. Is that a good way to say it?
That's a great way. That's a great way.
Can you expand on that, or what?
I'm anxious to. There's a little bit of a disconnect between knowledge of all the production talent that is available in our county and those resources that could be used by our advertising agency, Peter Mayer, as they put out advertising products around the country. And our focus is we're going to spend our money in our county. So we have the talent here. Let's make sure Peter Mayer is aware of that talent. So Friday, we're meeting over at the convention center. We've invited, with the help of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber and the Destin area chamber, we've invited all of the people we can find in the general production of both photography and videography to meet with Peter Mayer and have a chance for Peter Mayer to explain what they're looking for when they do our advertising, and to give our local talent the opportunity to show Peter Mayer, well, this is what we can do. And the idea is that before our agency spends the first penny outside of our county, they have to prove that it couldn't be purchased within our county. And with that standing order, they need to know what's here.
Right,
So
absolutely.
They're anxious to come in and meet these folks. I can promise you our production industry is anxious to meet Peter Mayer.
I'm sure.
So we're going to take all the time it takes on Friday.
That sounds
to
like
get
a
that
great
done.
initiative, Ed, and congratulations on moving that forward. That's
thank
great. Well, and you have some other accolades to brag about. I have it right here. Condé Nast Traveler named Destin one of Florida's top white sand beaches. Well, our white beaches are just incredible, and I'm still amazed as a resident when I walk out there and it never gets hot on your feet. I mean, it's such a wonderful, wonderful white sand. So that no big surprise there. And of course, TripAdvisor.com, which is a really great compliment to be on there on that website that so many people go to when they travel, has listed Destin as one of its 10 destinations on the rise. and campaigns moving right ahead for the
Yep.
spring. And as we start to tie this up, anything else
Well,
to add?
In reference to the recognitions, they're especially a value and celebrated by our team when they are consumer-driven awards. When consumers in numbers are telling these magazines or these survey groups that our area is the number one or number two on everybody's list.
Because they're actually just regular people getting on there and doing that.
It's not a professional that comes in with whatever agenda they might have. It's the people who have come here.
So that's a great compliment. Well, we thank you so much for joining us today and updating us on everything. And again, welcome you here. We're so glad to have you, and good luck with the upcoming season.
Well, thank you very much. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, I'm going to move on to my public information update, and I do want to mention Destin in that as well right off the bat. The Okaloosa County needs interested and qualified Destin residents to serve on the Airport Compatibility Advisory Committee. So they're going to be looking at things like aircraft noise and all types of things, and they sort of serve as an advisory to the airport personnel. And then we have a new bear sightings page on our public safety Facebook page, and we would like for you to engage in that page if you have seen bears in your neighborhood, because that's how we know, and then that way we can sort of engage with our state Florida wildlife folks and try to address some of those bear issues. And I want to highlight, of course, some of our hardworking Okaloosa County employees. We have Lieutenant April McQueen. She's received national designation as a certified jail manager. This is from the Jail Manager Certification Commission, and this takes an intensive application and a 4-hour examination. So congratulations to Lieutenant McQueen, who's been with corrections since 2005. And by the way, she's one of only 503 jail professionals nationwide with that distinction. We have 2 Hero Awards I would like to highlight. Hero Award recognizes a deed, act, or event in which an employee not only goes beyond the scope of his job, but has done something in a humanitarian or heroic nature. Emergency medical technician Barbara Chestnut transported a sick child from North Okaloosa to Sacred Heart Children's Hospital, and noticed that the grandmother who was taking care of them at the time had not eaten all day, and she was pretty weak. So Barbara took her next door to Wendy's and got her some dinner. So again, employees going above and beyond their scope of work. And Sam Sims of Public Works showed another true act of kindness when he installed a roadside memorial sign, and that was on Kennedy Bridge. He helped Miss Lucas, who was invited there for her brother who died there, and he stayed with her until then. And I'm going to have to get off of here, but up next is Doug Rayner with the City of Destin.